I made a postpartum essentials video well over a year ago, but recently I've had so many of you guys ask for a postpartum video more on what to expect and not necessarily on just what to buy. So I'm going to make another video, and it's probably going to get demonetized, but we are going to get real and I'm going to share all the gory details. So let's get into it. But before we do, I have to shamelessly plug my channel. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. And if you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. And go follow me over on Instagram. I have a giveaway going over there right now, so be sure to follow me so that you don't miss this giveaway or any of my other future giveaways. Okay, postpartum. So to make this a little bit more fun, I've created a list of 15 fun facts about postpartum to kind of explain what's about to happen. And I'm also still gonna include the postpartum essentials because I'm not about to tell you all the shit that's about to go down and leave you without any solutions. And FYI, if you haven't picked up on this, a lot of these fun facts aren't actually that fun, but I'm just trying to keep it bright over here. It's all for a super fun end goal. First, we'll talk about the initial realities and what can and may transpire in giving birth, because that has a big impact on your recovery and what essentials you may need. Fact number one, you have a watermelon-sized human in your belly, and there are only 2 exit options, and both exit options are not the size of a watermelon, and don't just open up easily to let watermelon-sized objects out. So let's first talk vaginal deliveries. I don't know how big you are down there, but I'm gonna guess that it's smaller than a watermelon. So there's a lot of stretching that needs to happen in order to get that baby out, which leads me to my next fun fact. It is not uncommon to tear when you are pushing a baby out vaginally. Some women don't tear at all, and I truly hope that is you, but the opposite can happen as well. No matter the severity, if you need stitches, you'll get stitches and you will heal. Just some things to help you heal quicker, and some of this your hospital might provide, some of it they might not provide. Definitely talk to your specific hospital to see what they give you and don't give you, because I know it is different at every single hospital. But some things to help you heal. First, ice or padsicles. Like, for the same reason that you need to ice an injury after you get hurt, you're going to need to ice down there, because again, watermelons. Whether you tear or not, it is going to be injured in some way down there from the amount of stretching that had to take place. So you're going to need to ice to help reduce swelling, ease pain, and just help recover quicker. Then you'll need a peri bottle. My hospital did provide me like a Gatorade looking peri bottle, but there are other more ergonomic ones that you can buy online. One that is really popular now is from Freedom Mom, and a peri bottle basically just helps you rinse off in the bathroom, because as you can imagine, toilet paper is not something you are going to be wanting to use down there. It would just feel like sandpaper and not be good for you. So you'll rinse off with the peri bottle, and really, whether you have a C-section or a vaginal birth, you'll want a peri bottle, because next fun fact, no matter how you deliver, you will bleed like you have the heaviest period of your life for weeks after. So there's a lot to clean up down there, and the peri bottle is good for that, whether you have a vaginal or a C-section delivery. I can't give you an exact amount of time of how long you'll bleed for after delivery. It varies for everyone. I would say at least a month. I know for my twins, I did bleed for a few weeks longer than I did for my singleton, but it's really just different every time and for everyone. But back to pain management for vaginal deliveries, another thing you'll want to get is called Dermaplast. It is a pain relieving spray that you can spray down there. So after you clean yourself off with your peri bottle, you can spray Dermaplast and it helps numb things. Next fun fact that is also another painful fact is it is not uncommon to get hemorrhoids just in pregnancy, and then especially during a vaginal delivery when you are pushing the baby out. There's a lot of pressure and stuff going on down there. And so it's actually very common for hemorrhoids to crop up. Oh, crop up. I don't like that word. It's not uncommon for hemorrhoids to pop up. It all sounds bad, but it is what it is. It's not uncommon to get hemorrhoids. Some good essentials for taking care of this are Preparation H wipes or Tux pads. Both contain witch hazel. It just helps relieve the burning, itching pain of hemorrhoids, and it actually can also be used on your perineum too for vaginal deliveries to just help ease the pain. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Ice padsicles, Peribottle, Dermaplast, pain relieving sprays, Tux witch hazel wipes for hemorrhoids and perineum. Oh, this is a big one, diapers. And not diapers for your babies, diapers for you. Okay, so going back a few fun facts to the bleeding and having what seems like the heaviest period of your life after having a baby, the hospital will most likely provide you with very large pads to catch what pads catch. There's just a lot more of it. And they'll also provide you these very fun, large, disposable granny panties. This worked great in the hospital. I got plenty of extras to take home with me that I could have used if I wanted to, but once I was home, I actually much preferred to just use regular adult big girl diapers. I got these adult diapers and I actually really liked them. They're super comfortable, super stretchy waistband, and they're large and in charge, and you don't have to worry about ruining your bed linens at home. You will most likely wear these for the first few weeks postpartum until the bleeding starts slowing down. But in all honesty, I still buy and wear these diapers occasionally, just on my heavier period days. I like to wear these diapers at night. They're cozy, they're stretchy, and I just sleep better knowing that there's no chance that I'm going to bleed through or onto anything. And it's also kind of like a little subtle signal to my husband, like, it's a diaper night, stay away from me. Another fun fact, as long as we're talking about diapers, are bowel movements. Your first poop after delivery can be real painful. First, if you have a C-section like me, you gotta think about the fact that to have a C-section, they have to cut through your ab muscles. And if you just pretend like you're pooping right now, what muscles are you working if you're trying to poop? You're generally working your ab muscles, and after a C-section, those have just been sliced through, so you don't have much to push with. So definitely talk poop strategies with your doctor or nurse in advance if it's a planned C-section, or afterwards if it was an emergency C-section, to just make sure that it's not extremely painful. And it's also something to consider with vaginal deliveries too, because like we talked about before, if you potentially tear in your vaginal delivery, having like a firm, hard poop probably isn't going to feel very good. Now that we've covered everything that transpires below the belt, let's move our way up to your belly, which is the next fun fact. After you deliver your baby, you still look pregnant. You're still gonna have all the blood and fluids that needs to come out into those adult diapers, as well as just your uterus that housed your baby is still huge. It doesn't just like snap back like a rubber band. It takes time for it to shrink down. So your belly will still protrude as if you have a baby in it, but there will no longer, of course, be a baby in it. So for me, I really liked the postpartum girdle or belt that my hospital provided for me. It just, like, when my belly was just the empty, hollow pocket that still stuck out really far, I just didn't like the feeling. It didn't feel connected to me. It was like wiggling all over and just felt like an empty, hollow pocket that wasn't attached to me, even though it was attached to me. I don't know how to explain it, but I really liked the belt that they gave me because once I put it on and tightened it up, it just made everything feel tight and put together. And I know not everyone likes wearing these postpartum belts, but for me, it was something that just made me feel like whole and put together again. So I wore the one that my hospital provided for me until my stomach shrunk down to a small enough size that I then wore this one that I got off of Amazon. And this one, it just helped me basically get my belly back to kind of the same shape and look as it was before getting pregnant. My belly still does not look anything like my pre-pregnancy belly, but it at least has the same shape again. I have a whole what my belly looks like video that I'll have linked in the description below. Moving up a little bit further, the next fun fact, postpartum, your breasts start producing free food that you can give your baby. Very shortly after giving birth, even if you have a C-section like me, the nurses will help and start guiding you on your breastfeeding journey. And when they say journey, it It really is a journey with ups and downs, and it can last a really long time as long as you want it to. But the nurses will help get you started if you want them to. And I was 100% on board with the lactation nurses helping me because I had no clue what I was doing, and in my defense, my baby didn't have any freaking clue either. But fortunately, the lactation nurses are very experienced in this. They'll show you like all different kinds of positions and breastfeeding methods, and I mean, if it doesn't seem like the latch is working, at a certain point, the lactation nurse just like grabbed my boob and shoved it in baby's mouth, and that worked. But what I didn't realize about breastfeeding until I was already in the thick of it at the hospital as a first-time mom, I had twins. They were a little bit smaller. They didn't have, you know, the biggest mouths or the best latches, and they sucked the living daylights out of my boobs until they were bloody, blistered messes. It was so painful. I had no idea how painful it was going to be. That, I guess, is the next fact. I don't know what number we're on, but the fact of the matter is if this is your first time breastfeeding and you and baby are learning the ropes and what's going on, it's most likely going to hurt. And so some things you're going to want to get to make it hurt less are lanolin cream. I just used Medela lanolin cream, but it just helps soothe and moisturize your potentially cracked bloody nipples. I also got little nipple cooling ice packs. If your nipples start getting tore up like mine were, these are helpful to ease pain and swelling. And if the pain of nursing is just unbearable, what I ended up doing with my twins, because I mean, obviously there was two babies too, so it was double the sucking. There was no break for either boob. I got to the point where it was just too painful, and so I put lanolin cream on them and then pumped to get the milk out, because using the pump was less painful on my nipples than letting the baby suck. And I got the milk out that way, put more lanolin cream on, then put the ice packs on, and then put my nursing bra on that was just like nice and soft and seamless, and it at least gave my nipples a little bit of a break. Next fun fact is, even when you are not in the process of currently feeding your baby from your breasts are still producing milk and may leak. And by may leak, like they're going to leak. So you're going to want nursing pads to help catch any stray milk so that it doesn't just dribble into like little puddles all over you. Another fun fact that I feel I have to add is fed is best. I truly do believe that. I know so many women feel so much pressure to breastfeed. I felt a ton of pressure to breastfeed, and I felt like a failure when I didn't produce enough breast milk to feed my twins and I had to supplement, but ultimately they're fine. And I also learned that I am a fully formula fed baby, and I think I'm okay. I really, really do believe that just fed is best. However you choose to feed your baby is 100% fine, because another fact is keeping a baby alive is not easy. So I don't think anyone should be judging anyone on how they feed their baby or go about things, as long as the baby is happy and healthy. I also feel like I'm starting to go off on a tangent, I know, but hear me out. I also feel like there's this misconception that somehow people who don't breastfeed are taking the easy way out, and I want to debunk that right now. As a mother who at varying points in motherhood has been able to exclusively breastfeed, has had to pump and supplement, and then also at certain points had to just do strictly formula, I will say that when I was able to just exclusively breastfeed from the breast to baby, that is 100% the easy route if you are able to produce enough milk to do that. You always have a fully fresh, prepared bottle attached to you at all times, so anytime baby is hungry, all you do is pop your boob in their mouth, they eat, and then they're done. No cleanup, no prep time, nothing. If you have to take one of the other two routes for whatever reason, pumping or formula feeding, there's so many extra steps on top of just feeding baby. You have to prep bottles, you have to figure out how to store milk if you're freezing it, you have to thaw it, you have to still feed the baby, and afterwards clean all the bottle parts, keep track of all the pieces, keep things stored and organized. It's so much work feeding your babies. But moral of the story is just however you want to feed baby, I really do believe that fed is best. I can't stand it when moms passive aggressively shame other moms by saying breast is best, because that's just not an option for everyone. But if you do decide to breastfeed, some other breastfeeding essentials I have not talked about yet are nursing bras. You're definitely going to want nursing bras. They just snap open really easily, so you have quick, easy access to your boob for feeding baby. And my favorite nursing bras always came from Target. They're not super expensive, but they are more expensive than the nursing bras you can get on Amazon. So I'll have a few options linked below. Then just moving on to whole body topics, I think I've made it pretty clear now from this video that having a baby is no joke. And right after you have your baby, like the most important things other than your and your baby's health is just making yourself comfortable and making things as easy as possible for you. And so what I wore in the hospital and right when I got home were just nice, soft, comfy robes. I personally liked wearing robes the most because, again, having a C-section, I didn't want to have a pant waistband around my waist pressing on my incision, so a robe was nice for that. Plus, it makes going to the bathroom or changing your pads, whatever, super easy. And if you are going to be nursing your baby, it makes it really easy to access your boobs again, because all you need to do is spread open the robe. I would also highly suggest getting 2 robes to wear because there's a lot of fluids, as I've talked about already. So whenever some human bodily fluid gets on your robe, you have a backup that you can wear while the other one is being cleaned. Then moving up again to your head and mind postpartum. Fact, your hormones after you have a baby drop and fluctuate and go a little bit crazy. There is no way to predict what is going to happen mentally postpartum. It's different for everyone, but I think it's just important to be aware of the signs or symptoms of postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, baby blues, all of that, so that you just kind of know what to look for. And I think it's also important that your partner or support person is also well aware so that they can detect possible red flags as well. And the last fact is motherhood and postpartum is going to look different for everyone, for all of us. You can prepare and plan as much as you can, and I think that's great, but don't be upset or hold yourself to a certain expectation if it doesn't go exactly according to plan. Ultimately, you will be fine, and that is coming from someone who was completely ill prepared for childbirth. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't prepare at all. I flew by the seat of my pants. I got everything basically beyond the point of needing them. My husband was essentially my Postmates postpartum delivery dude who would just get things for me as I realized I needed them. So it was a little stressful, but we figured it out and we're fine. I also know that I may have made this stuff sound kind of scary, but like, first off, there's nothing you can do about it. It's all going to happen if you're currently pregnant. It's unavoidable, but it also is worth it. And I think the proof is in the pudding that it's worth it, because so many people go through this experience, have a baby, and then choose to have more babies beyond that, because it's ultimately all worth it in the end. I feel like I covered everything I wanted to. If you have any other questions, leave it in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram at myzimmy. I really hope I didn't scare anyone, and I just hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to share it with another mama you think it could help, and then also click on one of my other videos that should be floating over my face at this point, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!